This is Michael Gerace with Michelangelos Services Inc. It is May 22nd, 2026. We are located at 5142 Lankershim Boulevard, North Hollywood, California, 91601. We're performing a waistline and sewer line inspection through the 4-inch cast iron cleanout that is in a little cubby. It's kind of recessed, a little difficult to get to, but it's still accessible. And they had what they call a dollar plug in there, and this dollar plug is a little bit easier to get out than a lot of the other plugs. And trying to reach back in here, you've got to reach back in a couple feet to get to the plug to open up the clean out. So with the dollar plug, and that's the dollar plug right there, has wing nut on it. Makes it a little bit easier to try and access. We're going to insert our camera right at the opening of the cast iron waistline clean out. I'm going to zero out our camera monitor so we get a good accurate reading. And we're going to begin pushing in. We automatically go into a turn, and we're in cast iron. You can see everything swirling, and what that is, that's sewer gases. That's common. You get sewer gases back from the city sewer, and that's why you need P-traps that are full of water up underneath fixtures and such, because that keeps the sewer gases from coming back into the building or back into a house. Got a little debris hanging here, coming in from an inlet. Looks like paper from what we can see. We got some knots in there and some bumps in there and such. That's corrosion. That might be able to be cleaned. You have to be careful cleaning an older cast iron line. You're liable to put holes through it, but sometimes we can just hydrojet lightly and be able to clean it out a little bit. We're holding some water back right here. And we got some pretty good bumps and knots right there that are holding back some water. This is definitely going to have to be cleaned out, or you could end up with stoppages. We're going to continue to push out. We believe this is going out toward Lankershim Boulevard. And we're going to go trace this. We're going to trace this in a little bit. It's actually in the tenant's unit right next door to the main building. We're going to continue to push out. We're in cast iron. The older cast iron does seem to hold up a whole lot better than the newer cast iron does. And then we transition right here to ABS plastic at approximately 38 feet. We're going to try and locate this area, so we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've located this area at the back of the building, which is in the alleyway area. And it transitions to what looks like to be plastic piping. We're going to run in, we'll be able to see a little bit more. Located this at about approximately 3 foot 5 inches deep. And this is the 6-inch lateral. It might be vitreous clay. Sometimes it looks like, yeah, it is vitreous clay. Sometimes it looks all black and looks like ABS plastic. Then we get in a little bit more and we can tell, number one, we've got very short pieces of pipe. I can see the orange vitreous clay right there. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well, as does that joint. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We're heading out toward the city sewer in the alleyway. That joint's got a little bit of an offset, a little more of an offset, but it's still in fair and maintainable condition. Not broken. That joint has an offset. Vitreous clay has a tendency to offset within the couplings because they're usually packed with concrete. The older ones, concrete deteriorates a little bit at the bottom generally, and they settle. You get a little bit of an offset there, but still in fair and maintainable condition, as is that joint. And then we're making our turn and probably dropping down to the city sewer. Let's see if we can get through this turn. We made a turn. I don't believe we're in the city sewer yet. Made a turn. We're in a drop. Camera's kind of hanging. Joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition. Push it out. Very difficult because we got this little cubby hole here. So we're going to run some water for a moment. So we're going to pause for 1 minute and try and see if we can run enough water to help us push through. I believe that's the end of the saddle fitting, which is the end of the owner's responsibility tying into the city sewer. So we're going to pause for 1 moment. Okay, we're going to flush some water through here and see if it helps us to push out and get out. That's actually looks like the lateral, the 6-inch lateral there. Continue to try and push out. I'm going to pause for a moment. Thing's 2 feet back in there. Son of a bitch, man. Stuck there.
No, anything else here?
No. I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to try and push out a little more if we can again. It's very difficult because we're in so many turns and the clean out is way back in here. Camera does not want to go. So we're out 72 feet. We're going to try and run another camera. We're going to run a smaller camera that's a little bit more flexible. Sometimes we can get the camera out. Sometimes it's even harder to get the camera out. Now we're going to pull back. And right there is our 4-inch to 6-inch lateral transition. As the pipe gets bigger. And that's at the city. That's right at the alleyway. So we probably don't have a long way to go. We've already looked at everything on the way out. We're going to pull back. We got water running. We're going to try just for the heck of it. No, not going to let us run out. Now we're going to pull back. We're going to pull back now. And we're going to go ahead and run our mini camera and see if we can push out. I'm pulling back. And then we're going to try and run a mini camera through this clean out and see if we can get out further. See if we can get out all the way to the city sewer. We're only probably about 8 or 10 feet shy of the city sewer of that. But just couldn't push out any further because of all the turns. And also having to reach back in here more than 2 feet to try and push this camera. I can't get back in there and push the camera. I'm not right up against the clean out. If I was, I could probably get a little bit more behind it and be able to do that. So we're pulling up and out of our waistline clean out that's in the cubby hole back here. You can see that's our clean out that's way back in there. So very difficult to try and push through here. You got a wall here and a panel. But we're going to try and run our mini camera, which is a little bit more flexible. So we're going to pause for a moment and change equipment. Okay, we've changed cameras and now we are running our mini camera. But it's a little more flexible and hopefully we can get around all the turns easy enough. Sometimes we can and sometimes it's more difficult. We've already seen everything up to 72 feet, so we're just going to run in quickly and get out to about the 72 foot mark and see if we can get into the city sewer so we can take a look at the rest of the lateral in the alleyway, because that is also owned by the building owner. That turn. Okay. We're just about out to where we were. Get water in the line. Here's our transition to the lateral in the alley. Really difficult right here, but we're gonna try and see if maybe we can run some water, help float our camera out. This is a little lighter than the other one, so we're gonna pause for one moment, and we got some water coming. I can hear someone flushing a toilet. Let's see if that helps us right now. Very, very difficult. I'm gonna pause our microphone for a moment. There we go, we got some water. Pause our mic for a moment. Okay, we flushed all 3 toilets. Trying to see if this helps us. Get out. This is a bear. Pause for a moment. Can't believe we're right at the turn to the city sewer saddle. Got maybe a couple more feet to go. I'm going to keep trying to push out. turn. That's our city sewer right there. That's our city sewer, so we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we're right at the city sewer now, and we got some water dripping off the camera lens, and we have a little water coming through. So we're going to pull back now, and that area appears to be in fair and maintainable condition, as does that joint. And this is the 6-inch lateral, the vitreous clay from the property line. That's property line right there by the edge of the property meeting the alleyway. That's the 4-inch to 6-inch connection, which we've already seen. And we got quite a bit of water coming through. I'm going to pause for one moment. Okay, we're going to continue to pull back now. Try and locate where the water is coming from. We've already looked at this line a couple of times. Just pull back. Try and see if there's an inlet somewhere that we couldn't see. We have no water running inside the building right now that we're inspecting. I'm going to continue to pull back rather briskly. We still have water running. There's water coming from there. Okay, we have water at an inlet. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we figured out what the problem was. There was one toilet that the flapper inside, or the mechanism inside that holds the water and stops the water from going, keeps the water from just filling and filling inside the tank instead of filling and shutting off. We located that, so there's a little issue just with the trip lever. When you push it, it can get stuck. So we'll take a good look at that after, but we looked at everything. We got all the way out to the city sewer. So that will complete our waste line and sewer line inspection. Thank you.